confused about me. Must be confused about me. None of the walls around me. Hey, hey, yeah. Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here for another review of one of the other Fifth Harmony performances. This is from the VillaMix festival. Now I did see their performance of Angel and Down from the same festival, the same set. I don't know how this is going to go because the biggest issue that I really had was that the camera angling was horrible. For this to be kind of like a professional, you know, like a really professional event, I was a little like disappointed with the way that they worked the cameras. It's like they didn't really know where to shoot from. The angles were weird. They kept on giving overhead shots, like drone shots from up in the air, when like at key points when they were doing like, you know, like the main parts of the song and choreo, and I'm just like, what's going on? It's a live show, and so I understand that, but for a live show you really want to make sure that you don't miss anything, you know. So I feel like they should have kept the cameras on them at all times. Maybe show your drone shots like in between each song or something at the beginning of the song, but not during their performance. I feel like that's unprofessional in my opinion. But anyway, let's get into the performance. This is Don't Say You Love Me. I really actually do like this song, and I've found myself listening to it a lot more in the past like couple of weeks. So I'm interested to see how they do this live. I haven't heard this song live yet, so it's gonna be interesting. Let's see what they do. Now, I was told by a couple of other people not to even watch any of these other performances on VillaMix, but I was requested this video by somebody whom I had a conversation with in my comment section, so this is technically for you. Anyway, let's do this. En 3, 2, 1. What the hell?
How y'all feeling out there?
Ooh, yes, Monty.
Y'all still with us?
They looked so tired during this performance, though. During this festival, at least they get to sit down for this one. No shade. Yes, Lauren. This is the performance I need to see. Yes. Sing, girl, yes. Ooh, she's into it. She's singing. She's putting more energy in than Lauren is. Yes, Monty, hold that bottom. Where are the shots of Dinah who's actually singing? Why is Allie cracking up? This is not one of those songs, Allie. I know you're not feeling that well, Monty, but she sound good. She don't know the words. Come on, Dinah. Oh, she didn't come in with her ad-lib. You know Monty's not feeling well when she doesn't at least attempt it. Watch it now. That was a little off, Dinah. Yes. Come on, Lauren. Dinah. Look at her getting it. She's just vibing. Yes. Yes, Allie. Yes. Mm-mm. I mean, are they going to continue to cut the sound audio at every single time the end of the song is coming close? They cut the sound. Why is that? That's like, ugh, God, that's like the second or third time that that's happened. Why are they doing that? Who filmed this? Who produced this festival? It doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna have to do an entire roast on this one freaking event because is honestly it's like ruining the whole atmosphere of their performances when they have like crappy camera angling, stupid shots, and horrible cues. Like, what's going on? God, you can't get good help these days. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, to the performance, I loved it. I actually liked it. They gave exactly what they needed to give to it, you know. Granted, obviously, none of them really looked like they were really there. I mean, especially Normani. Normani, she looked like she was out of it. Like, she just had this daze, like, don't say you love me unless you do. Like, she just, she's just like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, poor things. Like, they need a break. They need a minute. You know, when they're done in South America, I hope that they have a break before they, you know, come back up here, you know, or come to the States. I hope that they have a minute because they really need it. You know, they really have been working hard, and granted, a lot of things have gone wrong with quite a few of their performances, but it's like they've been nonstop performing, and so they probably don't get a lot of chances to really even rehearse much because they have to save their energy for the shows. And it's like back to back to back to back. You know, they only really get maybe about one day off, if that, because most of the time they're spending that whole day probably traveling to the next place, and then they have to perform that night, and then they, you know, immediately after that they maybe get like a couple of hours or so of rest, and then they got to go to the next place that's probably in a different country. You know, I mean, there's a lot when you're on a tour. It's a lot, and of course then they also have to make appearances. You know, it's about the promotion too. When you're on tour, it's not just you go to one show one day and then you leave and you go to the next show. No, after you do that show, you sometimes, if you got like interviews and stuff set up, or a radio appearance, an appearance, then you have to make sure that you show up for that in the city that you're supposed to be in the city that you're either performing in or what have you. So they have all of these different things that they have to do while they're also, you know, preparing for these performances. So it is a lot. It is definitely a lot, and I'm not going to be so hard on them that way. But I will say that this performance was probably one of the best that I've seen so far since I started looking at these PSA tour videos. Granted, this is for a specific, this is for like a specific event, but it's during the PSA tour, so I'm going to count it as a PSA tour performance. So this is definitely one of the best that I've seen. And they really held their own. I love Normani handling that bottom. Like, I love when she is able to control, you know, the lower registers of her voice, of her vocal range. It sounds amazing because she has that deep neo-type soulful voice that I really like. And I believe one of my subscribers who follows me on Twitter, Darian, he sent me a video. I think it was this one. He sent me a video of her because I remember she was like sitting down on the steps, and she was singing this part, and I was like, oh, okay, she actually sounds really good. We had commented on her not having the best support and control when she sings lower, but it sounded very good in this song, and she really handled keeping the harmonies together. So I really do take my hat off to her for that. Well done, Normani. Even though you were not feeling your best, you're not 100%, I was still getting the vocals that I needed. Granted, she didn't do any of the heavy belting because because when they come in that part, I need a little bit more, I need a little bit more. She goes, I need a little bit more. She comes in with an ad lib like that. But she didn't do it this time, but I can understand why. But everything else was good. Although, okay, I gotta get on Dinah because a couple of those ad-libs, girl, a couple of those ad-libs were a little bit off. So I do have to call that out, especially when you started using the head voice a little bit to do like the runs. A couple of them were a little bit flat. But it wasn't like that noticeable. I'm just gonna notice it because it's me. Come on. But yeah, Allie did well. Allie did well. I am having a little bit of an issue though because in a lot of these performances, I feel like she's doing a lot of screaming and not really supporting a lot when she's hitting these high notes. This one wasn't all that apparent. She was, she didn't have that many like really, really high, dumb high parts. So it was fine. Lauren was great. Vocally, she was amazing in this performance. She gave you what you needed vocally, and even at the at the high part, "Don't say you love me," at the end, she led that part really, really well. And I just, it's amazing because we were talking about her too being able to sing in her, in the higher octaves a lot more clear. Like her voice sounds a lot more clear than it used to, and it's showing really well in performances like that. She's not as raspy and hoarse, and she can actually, kind of expand the range a little bit. She can go here and here, and still sound pretty, fairly clear. There's obviously going to be that raspiness because that's Lauren's voice, but it's not as raspy and almost hoarse like it used to be, like back on the 727 tour. 727 tour, she was like 3 packs of Marlboro a day. That's how bad it was on the 727. But it's a lot better now, and she sounds great. She sounds amazing. But yeah, that's all. I mean, I generally like this performance a lot more than the other ones, and I mean, hopefully when I look at some of the other ones on this tour, I'll also be blown away. The next one that I'm probably going to do is well, I did record Sauced Up, so I'm definitely going to post that between tomorrow and Wednesday. Probably tomorrow or Wednesday, because tonight I want to get this out, and then also my recap for The Gifted will be posted tonight. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. Let me know what you thought about this performance in the comment section below. Okay, definitely comment down on some other performances that I should watch, even if it's not just Fifth Harmony, if it's Little Mix or somebody else that you think that I will like, or you just want to know my opinion on, just let me know. I hope everybody has a great day. Take care, you guys.